So how I got started in trading, this is a little bit about my story. Some things I wish I did if I was to start all over again. So I really do believe by the end of this webinar, you can learn some of the lessons I wish I knew, get there faster than I did. And actually, in essence, if you take some of these notes, you could probably half the time, as they say, if you get a mentor, or just skip some of the stupid mistakes that I made. So how I got into trading and, well, how you can get into trading on a faster kind of route. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about these four contents. As number one, I'm going to talk about kind of like why I started trading, because this was the fuel, like why I actually started this journey, why I kind of went into trading, what kind of attracted me into it. And then a little bit about my story of, how I kind of struggled, how I kind of failed. But a lot of those lessons in there, you can kind of take away and then apply it to your life right now. What I would do differently, which is a summary from those stories and those stages, and then how you can implement that and how you can start right now. So, why I started is pretty simple, right? I think a lot of people who get into trading kind of want to start for the money, and that's it. Like, that's exactly why I started into trading, was for money, because it's for the word that I now kind of deemed at that time I didn't know, but it is the word freedom. So to me, freedom is doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, and how you want. Essentially, that is freedom. You don't actually have to understand that you have to make millions or millions and millions. And as you guys know, right, if you're following me already, it is about you versus you and me versus me. When I say that, it really is truly, we can all win. There's more than enough money on the table for everyone to win. There's more than enough for all of us to make money in the markets and have a living from it. You just have to want it enough, apply the right mindset, and also do the right things. But how do you know what's right and wrong? And we'll go through that in a little bit more today's video. So why I started was, honestly, it was freedom, and a lot of this stuff and attachment is to this doing what I want, when I want, and how I want. I wanted to be able to eat food. I know it sounds silly, but I wanted to go out to restaurants and just be able to eat without looking at the prices. It's like, oh, if it's £20 for a burger, fine, it's £20 for a burger. Whereas that used to make me sweat. It's like if I used to go out to eat, but oh my god, like, that's so expensive for food. Or if I wanted to reward myself and I wanted to get some takeout, things like that. Or it was actually revolved around food quite a lot in January. But one way or another, it was always to start with money. But money can buy you the freedom. It's just only to a certain level. Money isn't everything. You have to have your relationships, your integrity, and your honesty at heart and stay true to yourself. But that's a whole nother story. So really and truly, money, then freedom, and to do what I want, when I want. Now, my story, these kind of four stages, I think, really defined who I am today. And these four stages, I think that all of you guys are relatable in your own way and whatever it may be for you. Now, the first one was when I became a man. That's right, when I became a man. It sounds quite deep. And it's kind of like loneliness, or I feel like the social pressure that we have at the moment is like everyone should know what they want to do. Everyone should be a millionaire, 18, figuring out. And that's not the case. If you look at the generation above us, the thing is, they were 18 and they were working in like instructions or whatever field or craftsmanship straight into it, as opposed to now we go to uni, pay over $100,000 or even more than that to do a degree that we don't even know if we like or not, to come out to get a job that pays a fifth of that, and then we got to spend our lifetime paying off that debt. So that matrix or that system makes no sense. And all of this, you just really don't know. You have all this pressure and you should be this, you should be that. I should know what I'm doing. I should have this figured out, but you don't. And, really and truly, I didn't. I had none of this figured out. I had no idea who I wanted to be. And what happened is, I believe that a traumatic event always changes who you are. And what happened to me was, had my first girlfriend leave me at that time. And it was like that first love. My uncle passed away at the same time, which were tough times. And then on top of that, I had to spend Christmas by myself, which I haven't brought this story up in a long time. But I brought it up in Riz's podcast recently, and it reminded me of the humbleness to remember where I came from. And imagine that, like, you're probably 19, best part of 19. You already, come from a single parent family. There's a lot of loneliness and a lot of troubles already. Then I got to spend Christmas by myself, with no money as well. And then on top of that, all of these traumatic events happening, where do you really go from there? So what I really did was, I kind of like turned into the gym, and the gym kind of made me a man. And why I say it made me a man is because the change happens when you've had enough, it hurts enough, or when you're excited enough. And excited doesn't last. So really and truly for me, this it hurt enough. And when it hurt enough, I was like, I want to change myself. I always wanted to get big. I always wanted to go to the gym. So I did every ounce in my body and put it into the gym. And that loneliness and all of that sad and all that pain, I put it towards the gym. And that gym, obviously in the gym, I got bigger, right? And in return, I ended up building more self-confidence. I ended up being more, confident in the idea that no matter what you put your mind to, you can achieve. I also know that you can do way more than you think you can. Your body is listening to you. The mind is more powerful than the body in and in itself, and the discipline that it requires to do that. So that was the start of me becoming a man. That was the first step. Now, that first step really changed who I was, and I started to figure out a lot about myself. And then this is when I decided I wanted to be rich. Because this story then goes on to the second part, where I was one time I had £50 left to my name and I was already in debt. So not only student loan, I was in overdraft. I had £50 to last me over a month and a half. And I was already trying to live £10 a week. So that's like $12 a week. Think about it. Trying to buy groceries, trying to live, trying to travel with that amount of money is incredibly difficult. So I understand. That's why I understand like people's situations. I understand if you struggle because I've been there and I can relate and it's relatable. But the one thing is I made a choice, and that's what you have to do. And I think that's the big takeaway from, number two, is that you have a choice. You are where you are from the choices you made. This is the biggest saying I say. But then you can go where you want to go with the choices you make. Right? Yes, right now it sucks. Thinking back on it, like stage one of my life, when becoming a man, that loneliness, that depression, all of that shit, it sucks. But that's the cards that I was dealt with. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, what can I do? Like, I can pray all I want, I can cry all I want, I can scream all I want, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So what the fuck can I do about it? I know, and if you can make that decision, is in 10 years' time, I don't want to be in the same position. So that was the decision, become a man. Then I did the same thing with wanting to be rich. I'm like, shit, I'm poor. This sucks. And the fact that I'm poor and it sucks is like, well, what can I do about it? I'd made a decision. I wanted to be rich. So from there, this is the kind of mindset and like the I guess the quick route for you guys to understand these stages is you've made that decision. Now you've made that decision, you get to work. And persistent, consistent action is where you need to do and what you need to do and where you need to go. Because essentially, once you do this, you will not fail. Like you will fail like intermediately the small things. That's the biggest thing. Like people forget failure is only a part of success, it's not the opposite. You may fall over. It's like, okay, cool, trading. This is all about trading, right? Now we have a strategy. It doesn't work. Okay, cool. Then let's refine it. Why does it not work? Okay, maybe I change the moving average. Maybe I find a different mentor. Maybe I find another strategy. It doesn't matter. I just got to keep going until I succeed. That is the number one thing. So that mindset is so important. So you have to lock in this lifetime mindset. Now, when I say lock in this lifetime mindset, one of the biggest things you need to understand is if you make a decision right now to become that person, lock the fuck in. Don't waver. You versus you and me versus me. No one is going to take that away from you. If you said you're going to be a successful trader, you want to be a 7-figure trader, 8-figure trader, 6-figure, I don't care. Whatever number that is what you want, which means you will achieve it. You just have to do whatever it takes and have the lifetime mentality for it. So understanding that I'm going to do whatever it takes in my whole life to make it happen. It may not happen today. It may not happen next year. You know it will happen in 10 years. Then what this now in turn does is multiple things. Number one, you stop rushing the process. Because you stop rushing the process, I don't mind if it doesn't come today. I know it's going to come to me. I have an underlying belief that it's going to happen. I have faith. I'm going to work towards until it happens. On top of that, you then now have faith, which means you don't get distraught and you don't get disheartened as well. You don't feel like, I'm doing all of this, it's not working. Okay, cool, it's not working now, but I know that it's going to work. If Champ can do it, I can do it, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. If Kyle can do it, Paladin can do it, Omar can do it, Comey, Wakar, all these people who just come to my mind, or even anyone you follow, they can do it. you can do it as well. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. It doesn't matter what it is. You can just do it. Just have that mindset, because the abundant mindset is the first step to creation. Imagination is the preview to the coming attraction. I think going from, just kind of to reiterate, that you will stop rushing the process. You truly understand it will come, and you have faith and it will come to you. You will just keep going. You will keep pursuing. And then I guess this goes on to the final bit, which is the only traders that fail are the ones that give up. So the simple answer is you just don't give up. So you got this. For the person who's watching this, you got this. If you can have that mindset, that really will protect you overall, and it will stop you from, being disheartened, and stop you from giving up, and stop you from moving and moving and moving. But you must work hard and work smart. Working hard is great, but if you keep banging on the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, that is the definition of insanity. All right. So that is really important. One final thing on this stage 3 is to get started. And once you get started, we have this word here, revision 1 to revision 1050. And what that means is, once you've done it the first time, everyone's path and everyone's journey is different. So like, if your revision is, number 1, it doesn't work. Number 10 may be the one that makes you successful. Maybe 100 makes you successful. What that revision means is the first revision of your draft. So right now I have a strategy, support and resistance. If I have support and resistance, then from here I try and take trades on the first test. That doesn't work. Then revision 2 is I take it on the second test. Then revision 3, I take it on the fourth test. It's so many different things that you can use and refine, and from there you'll be able to get to revision 1050, and that will make you successful. It could be 100 for you, it could be 1,000 for someone else, it could be absolutely anything for anyone. Okay. Number 4 is keeping it up. Now, once you get to this stage, right? Like, once you get to a decent, fun stage of somewhat being, I wouldn't say successful, or wherever you deem successful, right? Being the person who you want to become. It's about maintaining it. It's really easy to earn more and your lifestyle costs more, and then you get sucked into it. On top of that as well, it's very easy to have an ego and then lose it all. If you do not stay humbled, the market will humble you. If you do not stay humbled, the world will humble you. So you have to stay true to yourself and stay humble at stage 4. Now, this is where I'm at the moment. I'm trying to constantly build. I'm constantly to become a better version of myself. But I also understand there's always something to learn from someone else, always something to learn, and always something to better myself as an overall and an individual. So stage 4 is keeping it up, making sure that you've got a little taste of success. Don't celebrate too early. Stay humble, keep pushing, level up, and be the best version of you. And you versus you, me versus me. Okay. So what would I do differently? So if I was to start completely again, what would I do differently? So before I talk about what I do differently, here are 2 books I bang on about time and time again. And it is, number 1, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and then The Power of Consistency by Weldon Long. With The Compound Effect, how that changed my life is I understood that I can't be rich tomorrow. I think that was done like the best thing that the lesson learned from me, because with the compound effect, it's all about the longer term gain. Like, going back to the example of £30, like if I could just make £30 today or $30 today, that's right. If all of you can make $5, right? If all of you can make $5, that will be the goal. And this thing just keeps ending. I'm just going to talk to you like this now. If you could just make $5, from those $5, you can compound that to $50, $500, and $5,000. More money. You see me on Twitter talk about this time and time and time again. More money isn't the problem. Is actually just the power of compounding and the power of skill. And then this leads to, if you mix these, it's like a magic formula. If you actually mix it with the power of consistency, is that over a period of time, if you're consistent with the action, you are going to compound all of those wins, and it will be absolutely significant. Having that significance will really, really help you become successful and in your own trading realm. So it's the same with going to the gym, right? If you're going to the gym today, you're not going to get absolutely in shape today. You're going to get in shape in a week, or in 6 months or 12 months, whatever it is, depending on it. You only will start seeing changes in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And even so, from there, what is going on with this? I reckon it's that guy with the thingy. I'm getting like hacked and murked, so you can just stare at my face before I go on to the next one. And if you keep with that consistency, that's it. Compounding consistency is the magic formula to consistently get your gains and get your wins. So say if we use the FTMO example, if you do 100K on an FTMO account, from here, if you consistently just do literally just 1%, I know like the goal is everyone's always aiming for this 10% mark, but if you can just do 1%, that is more than enough. You know what I mean? You can get that 1K or 2K or whatever it is over a period of time. That's going to add up, and over a year, that's 12K. I know that's not the 120K you want to start off with, or you have these big aspirations, but that's cool. That's cool. That's fine. First, do the 1%, because then when you get to a million, that will start increasing. And when you start doing more, it will start increasing from there. So just really and truly, like, I think that is the biggest lesson to start differently, is if I can understand from a lower point of view, if I could just really respect the money from a low perspective, that would have changed absolutely everything. Okay. So the power of consistency and the compound effects, long-term vision, the end goal, don't rush it, and accept today's results. That will honestly make you a much better trader in the long run. So from here is to have a clear plan. You know, a dream is a dream, but to make that dream become a reality is to have an organized plan. And this is the second thing that I'd actually do. I'd have much more of a better plan. And this better plan consists of this to-do list. So I'm just going to give this to-do list. I talk about it a lot, and I'm actually going to quickly run through it with you guys. So I'm going to go from number 4. So number 4 is the trading strategy write-up. If you can understand your strategy, right? And if I did all of these, I'd be so much more clearer. Going back to when I talked about, you know, the revisions, this could be revision 100. I would have saved so much time and got there so much faster if I got to this revision so much faster by doing this to-do list. If we have that strategy right up, you'll be able to understand what the market is doing, what you want to approach with the market. So, you know, are you doing a support resistance? Are you looking for a continuation of a trend? Can you understand it and write in a very small, simple sentence? That's it. Just write in a sentence that you can understand it, and then someone who doesn't know trading can understand it. Number 5 is going through your confluences and tick boxes. It's like if you're looking for the confluences and tick boxes, it's exactly, I really don't get this. I think it's this. So I'm just not gonna share this. If you know, I guess you guys are just gonna have to stare at my face for now because it keeps cutting off. If you know your confluences and your tick boxes, it's kind of like, okay, what am I looking for? Is it moving averages? Is it the support resistance, or is it Fibonacci's? Whatever you have, you should have like a tick box, and then you don't think, because when you don't think, you just have this tick box every single day that you just come onto, and then you can just keep doing that and rinse and repeat. Whereas if you're constantly thinking on a discretionary, you won't have a clear-cut plan, and then essentially you're not really trading, you're kind of just gambling. That's kind of the worst problems that I kind of had when I first started trading, was I didn't have that. I had a clear plan, like I had a pattern A, which was entry, which is high Kanashis and then change of color. But from here, I didn't have, you know, what times am I trading? What pairs should I just be trading on? If the moving average is against me, what is the data from there? So having that tick boxes really helped me understand, you know, my strategy way more. The next up is a trading mantra. So a trading mantra ultimately is just to kind of really understand yourself and understand that if you're in a losing period, if you're in a winning period as well, you have like, it's kind of like, how do I say, not like a you know, those tribes and they start singing like ooh, 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 but a mantra to kind of like really hypnotize yourself that when you are in a losing state, it's like, I can get out of this. Going back to the compound effects, okay, cool, I'm in 9% drawdown. If I drop my risk to 0.25 after 4 wins, I'm going to be able to after 4 wins, I'll be able to get back into 1%. And then now I'm 8% drawdown. So just consistently compounding that. And then that gives me the way out of it. I start seeing the light. It's one of those things where if you vision the light and vision the goal, from there, I'll be able to understand a lot more in the future that I can get out of this situation. Okay, so it's really important to have that mantra because it helps you in a positive way, and also when you're in any losing streak, it also helps you get out of it. Next up is the trading lifestyle and routine. So I'm just going to try and share the screen again, and just so you can see this once more before it does whatever it's going to do. But is the trading lifestyle and routine, and then your trading flow chart, these two on number 7. If you have your routine at the moment, what time are you waking up? When are you actually studying? When are you charting? When are you working? When are you actually trading? When are you doing all of these things in your life right now to have that? Because you have to have that plan, right? So having this part of your plan in your daily routine just makes things on a daily basis so much more cleaner. When you have a routine, it's so much better. It's not like I'm waking up, I'll trade when I feel like it. It's okay, cool. Am I studying? Am I looking at markets? Am I reviewing? Am I doing the daily report card? What is it that I'm doing? And make it organized and clear cut and specific, then you can actually take consistent action on these and they will slowly get you the results. It's just like getting in shape. Every single one of you can get in shape. Eat well, train hard. That's it. That's it. How do you get successful at trading? Find a strategy and keep refining it, and you become a profitable trader. That's it. That is literally it. That is literally it. I know it's like the secret formula. Okay, cool. Webinar over. It's really not that. It's really not that difficult. Just to kind of summarize that, because we kind of got interrupted so much, is that from the compound effect, what I would do differently and how I would start again is understanding that, you know, the long-term goal, you'll be able to make way more money. And if you can just have that small compound effect from there as well, is to consistently have that, you know, small compounded results and have your organized plan. And with that organized plan and your to-do list, you're able to make things way more specific. And then mixing that all the way in again, you know, where we go to stage 3 or whatever stage, stage 3 in revision 1 to revision 1050. If you keep doing that and doing that and doing that, your revision, just you guys at revision 100 or 200 or 50 or whatever it is, whatever that number God or the universe has set for you, when you get there, everything will click. So then you just have to add on the final little recipe is to never give up. So that's really it. It really isn't that, you know, that difficult or that crazy. I spent over, you know, a lot of money in developing myself, and that's kind of like the secret formula. And I guess the last and final thing is, knowing all this information is great and doing all of this stuff is great, but I think what we really need to do from here is to understand that you have to stay accountable. I can give you all of this stuff and these informations and all this inspiration, but if you don't stay accountable and you don't stay true to yourself and you don't stay consistent, because that is the formula, you're not going to get there. So that consistency is really, 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 really important. Okay, I spent over like 200k investing in myself, so I really highly suggest that, you know, on the final note is for you guys to invest in yourself. Go find a mentor that resonates with you. You know, there are plenty of them, like Paladin, Kai, all of those are really good. All those ICT traders as well, they're all super, super good. So I highly encourage you guys to go and get a mentor. And that's the same with us. We have our wait list, so if you do want to learn from us, you can join the wait list, which Renner has kindly sent the link there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We have our Discord link. And from our Discord link, you can see everyone else's journal. You can see my journal, and that's pretty much it. So we have one summary page, so I'm going to hope this lasts. So this summary page here, just to kind of finalize, is decide, you know, how to start now and how to kind of really take this seriously. Is decide, commit, right? That was decision to become a man. The only traders that fail are the ones that give up. So decide and commit. Then once you've found a strategy, stick to it and keep refining it and refining it and refining it. The myth is there is no holy grail. Every strategy works to some degree. Every strategy works to some degree. So if you can just understand that, just pick one that works for you and keep refining and refining, and that revision 300, 200 or 100 will get you to where you want to do. Refine that, do your to-do list, work with your community and have an accountability, see that vision and have faith, and I promise you, you will get there and you'll be successful in your own realms. And I say this time and time again, success, I'm the man I wanted to be when I was 18, so I hope you become whoever you want to become in the next 10 years. That's right, 10 years, not tomorrow, not next year, not 6 months, in 10 years, because if you can build that legacy in 10 years, that is a much bigger picture and a much better story for yourself, your kids, and the legacy that you leave behind. All right, so thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties. That's pretty jokes, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to go check me out on Instagram, YouTube, etc. And if you do want to learn from me, Anton and Michael, who are the other coaches as well, we're opening up our wait list. We are seriously hammering the webinar, so there'll be one a month you guys can attend to every single month. And then on top of that as well, we'll be really, really working internally next year. Just finishing up now, writing all the webinars that we're doing next year. We're doing live trading sessions as well. I should finish off doing all of these challenges. I'm going to write what I've learned from doing these challenges and how the 2.8 million went. I think I bought nearly 5 million of challenges, failed a fair amount. And then I have my FTMO payout. So I should cross 100k of just FTMO payout soon in the next couple of months. And then I'm locking up my interview, but they have reached out and said they're willing to do an interview, but I wanted to cross that 100k mark. So thank you, everyone. If you've got any questions now, ask. If not, forever hold your peace. But yes, we will finish off with a chart breakdown.